Hey guys, it is me, Kisame Unlimited, and I'm here to tackle a very awesome top 10 for you guys. The top 10 that I'm tackling for this week is the top 10 best female characters in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I actually watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and appreciate the female characters for what they are outside of their bodies, because since I'm gay, I could look at them in retrospect and be like, oh, she's a great character. I like her. She's a fucking crazy cunt. She's a bitch. And I'm like, she's very funny. It's like, for me, I value a lot of the female characters really highly. One female character is personally my favorite, and I put her a little higher on the list than she belonged, but that's just for me. But I hope that you guys will enjoy this video. If you would like to see a top 10 for next week for Saturday, because every Saturdays I tackle a top 10. The Saturday next week that I'm going to be tackling is I'm going to be tackling my top 10 favorite or best ships in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you would like to see the top 10 ships in Yu-Gi-Oh!, like the video for that in advance. 500 likes will be the goal. Yuzu, personally, for me, when I first saw her, I was just like, she got spunk. I like her. And every time when she ever was like insulted, she'd like fucking smack them in the face. I feel like, I like that. I like that. That's good. And I mean, at the same time, the one thing I really liked about Yuzu's character is that Yuzu continued as throughout the anime, progressed. She actually got better. She learned how to fusion summon, and she actually got better. And when, Julia, I'm pretty sure that was the name, Julia Crystal, when she beat her with Geminites, she could have easily just been like, well, I suck. I'm not good. I ain't gonna get any better. She picked herself back up. She learned how to fusion summon, and she whooped that bitch's ass. And in my opinion, that was the best comeback that I saw out of probably all of fucking Arc V. I was just like, you know what? I'm proud of you. Well, I guess Reggie and Yuya, because seeing Yuya beat Reggie in that final duel, that was really good. But personally, for a good replacement, Yuzu beating Julia was a really, really satisfying duel for me. I was just like, you know what? Because you see so many female characters get the shaft like Akiza, and you see that in so many female characters, but you didn't see that in Yuzu. As time went on, Yuzu became the damsel of distress, but I kind of feel like in the end, I did like seeing her at least attempt and want to grow and become better, and I feel like that's really respectful for a female character. Now, for me personally, I'm very iffy with Alexis. I think Alexis is a good character, but there's a lot of things that Alexis does that I'm like, I'm not that crazy about you. I feel like she stands on a fucking high horse. But in my opinion, I think she's a really good character. She's a really good duelist. She's a fucking honest student. I feel like she's won a decent amount of games. She lost a decent amount of games, but overall she was really good. But I think that the thing that made Alexis Rose so good of a character was she had a great look and she had a good personality. She had the look to be like, oh yeah, I'm so fucking special. She literally embodied everything. She embodied a good deck. She was a good character, great look. There's nothing wrong I could say about Alexis outside that, I don't know, she's a little bit on a hot horse, and I'm not crazy about that. Her and Zayn, I felt like her and Zayn were always on the PL, looking down on everybody else. They're like, who the fuck do you think you are? Number 8 is a very, very controversial answer, and that is Yubel, because Yubel is half man, half woman, hermaphrodite. Nobody knows what the fuck Yubel is. It's implied in the dub that Yubel was female. However, before Yubel turned into, when Yubel was the guardian back in the day, before she had that armor dragon persona put onto Yubel's body, I think Yubel was a man there, or a boy. I'm confused. But to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm counting whatever slight female quality that Yubel has. I will count that as a female. Now, for me, Yubel personally, what a whack job bitch. But Yubel, you know what it is that I like about Yubel? Yubel, I kind of look at her as that crazy girlfriend that went too far. She's just like, oh, you dumped me? Well, I'm gonna set your car on fire. I'm gonna burn your house down. What I love about Yubel is I like seeing Yubel shift. I liked it when Yubel literally, as time went on, she became Jaden's like age. She became like a protector of Jaden, and I do like how she was in more in season 4 when she was actually not a fucking crazy bitch, and she was just like, I think this is the right way to go. I think this is what you should do. I like how she was like the voice of reason to like she was basically like Jaden's conscience, and I kind of feel like I like how she turned into that. Plus, at the end of the day, I loved Yubel when she possessed Jesse and when she dueled fucking Adrian Gecko. I don't know. I felt like she had so many characteristics of a fucking lunatic, and for me, it's like, if you want to like get under my skin and really make me like you as a character, you got to be a fucking crazy lunatic. Because when you're a lunatic and you're doing random shit, I'm just like, I like you. You're fun. You keep shit interesting. I live for the drama. Number 7 for me goes to Grace and Gloria. And oh my god, with their fucking characters perfect. I fucking love their personalities fucking outweighed fucking Yubel, Alexis, and Yuzu in my mind just off their personalities alone. They didn't even have to fucking duel for me to like them. I was just like, oh my god, I like this fucking duo you got over here with these fucking... Like, I didn't even give a fuck about them using Amazons. I was like, oh, that's a nice paying homage to GX. But I was just like, oh, I love their eye color. I love their hair. I love their look. They're so pretty. I just, for me, it just... Their personality... And personally, for me, I'm more of a fan of Grace, because Grace was like the one where she was just like she was like the ditzy bimbo type, and I was just like, oh my god, that's like right up my alley. And for me, my favorite thing is, as for Gloria, Gloria was like the voice of reason, where it's just like, I'm here to do what I have to do, and I'm a fucking stone cold bitch. And then you have Grace in the background saying, da, 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 da. Like, she was just like so stupid, and I love it. There was, and it's funny, they were both ruthless, crazy, perfect. It's like, yet again, you throw crazy bimbo girls at me, I'm like, perfect, perfect. Can't say anything wrong about them. They were perfect. And to be honest, they reminded me, Gloria and Grace reminded me of me and my friend if we were girls. And I was just like, because I'd obviously be Grace, because I'm like a ditzy idiot. So for me, it would be perfect for me to be Grace. Carly is my favorite female character out of any Yu-Gi-Oh character. I know that deep down she's not as good as a lot of other female characters, but I do believe that she belongs on the top 10 list. Carly, for me, when I first saw her as being a reporter, I said, oh, that's cute. I actually thought originally when I first saw Carly, I was like, is that Mokuba's daughter? Because she looks like Mokuba. But when I first saw Carly, I was like, oh my god, she's so cute. She's so nice, and I like her. And I like how she kept doing the fortune tellings. Like, for me, I'm a big fan of astrology. I know that that's not what she was doing, but for me, I like that. And when time came when she went flying out of the window when she died, I was like, oh my god, no, I loved Carly. How could you do this? And then when she came back as a dark sign, I was just like, get him, Jade. I was just like, I was so happy when I saw her come back. And then my favorite thing is when I was watching the duel between Jack and Carly, I was like on edge. I was just like, lose, Jack. Jack, lose. Because she was so sad. I was like, she was just like, I want us to be together. Jack, I want you to be evil. We could rule all this together. And I was just like, I like that. Do it. For me, and throughout the whole thing, it's like in that ending scene where Jack put the glasses on her and she faded away. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. And I loved Carly. Carly was so cute and nice and sweet and awesome and dark. It's just perfect. I loved everything about Carly. Now, you see Sarina, wow. Sarina, when I first saw her, I was just like, who's this bitch? Who does she think she is? Who is this, Alexis all over again? And you know what it is? When I first saw her, I was just like, I didn't know how to feel about her, but she screamed pure independence. And that's a very attractive quality in a female character, is when you see a character that's purely independent. They don't fucking need no man. They're like, I'm fucking here doing my own shit. Well, fuck Yuri. I don't need him. And I was just like, I like that about her. And her deck was so interesting and so unique to her. I thought that out of all the bracelet girls, I thought that Sarina had the best deck in my opinion. Well, I mean, I can't really say that because everyone's gonna be like, did you forget that Rin used Wind Witches? Dude, that's fucking OP. Yeah, but Rin didn't have fucking Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, so that shit didn't go anywhere. So for me, that's the best way I could describe Sarina. Sarina, great deck, good look. Fucking, she wanted to be like a fucking soldier. She was like, I'll go to the fucking XYZ dimension and fucking hurt people. And I was like, you know what you're doing? She was perfect. I can't say anything bad about Sarina either. Rebecca is a character that I know not a lot of people liked, but my fucking God, in my opinion, she, I think, had a good look. But my favorite quality about Rebecca was she knew how to fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh! For the time span of when fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Was around, you don't, every like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Player like Joey was basically like, good card, good card, good card, good card. No point. Rebecca had a fucking point. Rebecca knew what the fuck she was doing. I remember the first time I saw her, I was just like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking waste of a time of an episode. She had two fucking strategies when you first see her. Two fucking strategies. Her strategy is like, I play Millennium Shield in defense mode, Ring of Magnetism, and now I'll play Cannon Soldier and keep pitching cards so you take damage. That's a fucking great way to win back then. I was just like, And then on top of that, in the end, she was just like, all right, you destroyed these two cards? Well, now I'm going to summon Shadow Ghoul. And my whole deck's about dumping shit to the graveyard to power up Shadow Ghoul so he could basically run and ram and kill anything. Bitch, you were genius. I'm just like, in my opinion, I was just like, wow, what a great character that actually gets the concept of the game. Because if I was her, I would fucking look. You see, for me, if Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like, if I was as intelligent as I am now when I was a little kid watching that shit, I would have been like, this bitch knows what's going on. This bitch needs more screen time. Akiza is one of the characters that a lot of people are going to be like, well, damn, that's not number 1 or 2, because it would probably be number 1 or 2 on most people's list. For me, when you first see Akiza, Akiza's like so imbalanced. Akiza has like all these things wrong with her. She's hurting people. She has her psychic power. She's a sonar. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's being manipulated. And seeing her shift as a character and get over all her issues. And I really think that it's all due to her not really having any friends. And it was basically her getting Yusei, Jack, Crow, and Luna, and having them all be like her friends and goody-goody, and then ever since like that happened, then her shift in her character, I feel like that's kind of made her character like really like stale in my opinion, because I really liked it when she was like struggling with all these inner emotions. I mean, it was nice seeing Akiza in the very end get everything that she wanted. She became a teacher. She ended up with Yusei. It was so sweet, and it's like you have to appreciate her and say, you know, she had a great look, great deck, and she had a great story. For me, I just wish she had more screen time so I could appreciate her more. But personally, I do believe she's, a lot of people would count her as like the best, you know, like female character that we've ever had. And personally, I kind of agree, but I count two more female characters that are better than her, in my opinion. Number 2 would probably not even be on anybody's fucking list, and that is Camila. My God, when I fucking first saw Camila, she should have been a fucking main villain on fucking GX, because in my opinion, when I first saw Camila and I saw what she did, first of all, Camila has an amazing look. Nobody could ever tell me that out of all the fucking looks, out of any of the fucking characters on fucking GX, that she was not fucking spot on. Now let's talk about why Camila is so high up there. When you first see her, she's in a fucking coffin. She's manipulating fucking Zane, saying, I'm gonna kill your fucking brother unless you fucking take back this move. That's a fucking stone cold bitch. Turning a person into a doll, a voodoo doll, was really interesting, and I really liked that concept alone. And then on top of anything, she spied on everybody. She was like, I have all my bats looking at it, and we all know what like fucking cards you play and shit. I feel like she's just so evil. She had a great theme. I liked her deck, and she was just perfect. For me, I think that we need more characters and more evil female characters that come in the show that are like Camila, because for me, there's literally nothing I could say bad about Camila. Camila was probably the only reason why I actually gave a flying fuck about the Shadow Riders in the first place, because the only good ones were Atticus, Camila, and Banner. Everyone else was stupid. My Valentine is one of those characters where she's lost so many duels on screen, but it's implied that she is a really good Yu-Gi-Oh player, and to be honest, throughout all of it, you see how much of a good Yu-Gi-Oh player she is. She knew how to play very well, and she was one of the very first Yu-Gi-Oh players that actually introduced an archetype to the actual anime. And on top of that, she had an amazing look. And personally, one of my favorite looks out of all the female characters. Her deck really symbolized her, and I feel like that was really good. When you first see My Valentine's very like, I only care about the money, I only care about what money can get me, and then you see her get compassion. And then as time goes on, you see her go through depression. You see her go through like a very indecisive road where she becomes evil in the Orichalco season. And on top of that, she became ruthless. Her deck became stronger. And I feel like she was one of the very first characters to actually introduce an archetype. And as time goes on, I feel like her and Joey had such a great relationship. And I feel like she is one of the best female characters. Like, literally, that bitch summoned fucking the Winged Dragon of Ra on Marek, and I thought that was like, I was like, oh my god, you bitch. I was just like, in my opinion, my Valentine has gone through so many shifts and changes, and she's gone through so many losses, but in my opinion, I count her as the best female character because she was so good. She was very independent. She didn't need anybody. Even in the duel between her and Marek, she was just like, I don't need no fucking friends. Fuck you. You don't value me as a friend? Well, fuck you too. I don't need anybody. And I like that about her. For me, that's a very good quality with me with a female character. They're like, I don't fucking need no man. I don't need you. Fuck off. So if I left out a Yu-Gi-Oh! Female character that you think deserve to be on this list, leave it in the comment section below. And for you guys, leave your top 5 favorite or best female characters in your opinion in the comment section below. And don't forget to like the video. 500 likes is the goal if you would like to see the top 10 best ships or my top 10 favorite ships in Yu-Gi-Oh! For next Saturday. So other than that, if you have an interesting top 10 that you would like to see me tackle, maybe leave it in the comment section below. Maybe I'll make your top 10 into a single video. Outside of that, I hope you guys subscribe to the channel if you are new. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays. My Tuesdays are my weekly topics. My Thursdays are my ranty Thursdays where I do my rant-ons and my beat-downs. My Saturdays are my top 10s. And my Sundays, which is tomorrow, will be a 6-bet pain challenge where I duel my subscribers. Other than that, I hope you guys will have a great day and a better tomorrow, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.